Okay, welcome to our online seminar about getting a job in the mining industry. So let's get a start in the mining industry, guys. Okay, so who are we? We work for a company called Underground Training Systems, and this company was set up to address the skill shortage in the hard rock mining industry and the effect it's having on everybody. This company was started to help the shift bosses by supplying the companies with a selection of people that are already trained up and ready to go, that they've got the basic skills required to start an entry-level job. After almost 3 years in business, we find ourselves in the position of having to hold these seminars because there's been so much false information handed out, and worse, people trying to sell false information, that these days anybody looking for a job in mining thinks that mining employment is a scam. And if you could view the scam website. And I'm sure we've all seen this one, the Australian Mining website. This used to be the old Hogan Mining website. And this one was a, if you scroll down please, and if you have a look at the PO boxes, that's the dead giveaway. Basically you have to be a government department to get all the PO boxes the same. Alright, so it's a scam site. The guy that actually runs this lives in Invercargill in New Zealand and has spent only, 0 days on a mine site. So this seminar was created to help you make an informed decision on what will be required to pursue a career in mining. Now, all UTS consultants have got a WA Shift Bosses ticket and years of mining experience in their chosen field. This allows UTS to give you an understanding of the process of gaining employment in the mining industry. So this is Brendan's Shift Bosses certificate, and Brendan got his in 1986. This is the boss's, Hector. He got his in 1990. And this is my Shift Bosses ticket, and I got mine in 2007. So the mining industry today. The first thing you need to understand about mining in Australia is that there's not one type of mining. There's actually 4 different types of mining in Australia. There's hard rock underground, hard rock open cut, coal underground and coal open cut. Now there's also mining construction. However, this is not a mining job, it's actually a construction job. But it's a construction job that happens on a mine site. Unfortunately, due to the recent layoffs in the coal and iron ore mines around the country, trying to get into these 2 types of fields is near on impossible these days. And a new starter is going to be very hard up trying to get in over the next 18 months until the prices rebound. The same thing happened in gold in 1989. The price of gold halved and most of the gold mines shut. And myself, I went from earning $700 a day on a bogger to earning $240 a day driving a truck. And that's just exactly the same thing that's happening at the moment in the iron ore industry and the coal industry. There are only 3 places left that you can get an entry-level job in mining today, and that's shutdown and construction work. You can get work as a driller's off-sider, and you can get work as an entry-level hard rock underground miner. However, there's some standards that are common to all types of mining, guys. The mining industry today, you have to be able to pass a full medical. You have to be able to pass a pre-employment drug test, and this includes an alcohol test. You have to be able to provide a police clearance. Now, if you've been a naughty boy or girl in the last 10 years, they're not really that interested in it. What they're after is people with stealing as a servant and grievous bodily harm. They don't want anybody running amok on their mine site. So if you've been reasonably good for the last couple of years, you'll pass your police clearance. Have a manual driver's licence for underground mining. Be prepared to get a senior first aid ticket. You've got to be able to use the defibrillator, guys. So you need the 2-day first aid ticket. Be able to work 12-hour shifts. Okay, so we need to be able to work 12-hour shifts. Be able to work night shift. Now, it's a little known fact that a certain percentage of the population actually can't sleep during the day. And these people can't mine. So if you fall into this category, I'm sorry, you're not going to be able to have a successful mining career. Have an unrestricted or a HR licence for open cut mining and off-siting work. The reason you need a HR licence for open cut work is because there's gazetted roads running through the main part of the mine site. What's a gazetted road? A gazetted road is a road that the police can charge you on. The reason the gazetted road is probably running through the main area of the mine site is that normally the state government funds the first road out to where the mine is. So the mine that runs straight through the middle of the mine site is normally a state gazetted road. And that's why you need a HR licence. So whenever one vehicle comes in and it's over 20 tonnes, as soon as one tyre hits that gazetted road, you're going to need your HR licence for that vehicle. Be able to fly on small planes, okay? It's not like in the old days when we first started flying fly out in 95 and 96, when we first started on King Air and Queen Airs. And for those that don't know your planes, they're the little 10-seat planes and the little 12-seat planes. Nowadays they fly you in on Bazilias and Dash 8, so that's 30 to 50-seat planes. Like you were flying to a small regional regional town from a capital city. Be able to work in a hazardous workplace, alright? A hazardous working environment. This isn't a dangerous working environment, this is a hazardous working environment. We'll give you the skills to fix the hazards, but it's still a hazardous workplace, guys. Be able to work at heights. Be able to relocate for work. Very important to be able to relocate for work. Miners have to follow where the work is. And be committed to working safely, alright? And I know everybody's committed to working safely because nobody goes to work to hurt themselves. And so if you can answer yes to all those things, then you've got just as good a chance as anybody else of starting a career in mining. So the one question everybody wants to know, what's the secret of getting a job in the mining industry? It's mining knowledge, okay? If you know how the mine works, if you can speak the language that the miners use, then you've got just as good a shot as everybody else. So if I was to say to anybody in this room, does anybody know what I'm talking about? If I was your shift boss and you were the nippers in the room and I asked you to go and get 24 split sets and take them down to the jumbo on level 17 and help the jumbo operator bolt up at the heading down there, how many people in the room can answer that question? Nobody can, because it's a completely different language, and that's the whole point of mining knowledge. If you can communicate with the foreman, you can give them the comfort to hire you. But it's not just mining knowledge that you need. You need a mining friendly resume as well, and you also need a mining contact, and that equals a mining job. Okay, now you notice the order of things and the size of them. That's because the mining knowledge is the most important thing. Most people think that this is the most important thing, the mining contact. It's not actually the most important thing. You can make your own mining contact if you've got the first two things nailed down. So if you know how the mine works, the language used, and how to perform the entry-level jobs, then you've got something to sell the mining companies, guys. But mining's unskilled labour, I hear you say. Now you tell me what other unskilled workers get paid these sort of wages. A nipper gets $70,000 to $90,000 a year. A diamond driller off-sider gets 65 to 100. A truck operator gets 80 to 110. A grader operator gets 90 to 110. A service crewman gets between 80 and 130,000. A diamond driller gets between 100 and 150,000. Charge up get 100 to 150,000. Bogger, that's the underground loader, they get 100 to 180,000. Long hole operator, they get 100 to 150,000. The jumbo operators get 150,000 to 300,000 plus. They're the guys that get paid $1,000 a day just to put their boots on in the morning. And they bore the holes that we put the explosives in a hard rock underground mine. Then you've got your shift boss and your foreman. And 150 to 225 and 180 to 250,000. Now the reason that the foreman and the shift boss have got an asterisk beside them is because they're now management and they are subjected to other management bonuses. Now everything that's come up in red there is all entry level as far as hard rock underground mines are concerned these days, alright? We need people that have got the skills in all these areas to fill the gaps in the market as more mines are opening up around the country. So now mining knowledge is the key, so how can we improve yours? Well, there's a couple of different ways you can go with this. You can get some information out of a book, or you can do a mining course. The books and the websites will only have limited information and are best suited for people that are still making up their minds. Now this is another one that's come up. No mining experience required in the Australian mining industry. This is Roscoe's Mining Service. Now Roscoe made a name for himself about a decade ago by going over and making $58,000 and saving $58,000 in 12 months. He then went back to New Zealand and he set up this site. The information that he hands out is very general in nature. Basically what he tells you to do is go and make a nuisance of yourself in the actual office of the mines until they give you a job. And that used to be the way things were done a decade ago, but they're not done like that anymore. In fact, this website has been responsible for the mining companies locking their front doors now. And most places, in Perth especially, you need an appointment to get in. Now this isn't a bad website. If you go down, if you scroll down please. Now if you have a look at the two interviews there, Anthony Smith and Clinton McEwen, guess whose course they did to get into the mining industry? That's right, they did our course. The only problem that I've got with this website is that the person that runs it's got no mining knowledge. So they don't know the difference between what's real and what's not real with the scams and some of the information on there. But like I said, there's some pretty good information on there, and they do give out a list of jobs each Monday, which is fairly good. Now, we've written a starter's guide that details the rosters worked, the different types of mining. We go into ground support, we go into scaling, we go into the dangers of pooled water. The reason we do this is because if this stuff doesn't bother you, then mining's probably for you. Alright now, but if you turn your nose up at that stuff and you feel maybe that's a bit out of your league, then pursuing a mining career is probably not for you guys. For those of you that have already decided that mining's for you, then which course? There's no one magic bullet course that you can do to cover all types of mining, and that's one of the big myths that's out there. So how do you find a good course? Well, I always find the truth is the best place to start. So if the info from the company is good, then chances are you're on a quality course. Have a good look at their website. They should be displaying their good wares, so to speak. What do I mean by good wares? The people that they've helped employ. So the people that they've helped gotten jobs. Now, if no one from the course has gotten a job, how can you expect to get a job yourself? Now, this is our Wall of Fame page, and these are some of the people that we've helped get jobs over the last couple of years. It's not everybody that we've gotten in, it's just people that we've that have agreed to put their name up and support us to say that we've actually helped them. And as you can see, there's a sizable amount of people on this page now. If you're thinking about doing a training course at all, this is what you should be looking for. You should be looking for their good wares, because if the company that you're looking at doing the training with can't provide you with a testimonial of people that have actually gotten jobs in the industry, then how are you supposed to be able to get a job in the industry? And as you can see, the ages, some are as high as 56. Some are as low as 24, 23, and they're with all the different companies. So we've got people in with BHP, we've got people in with Xstrata, we've got people in with Barminco, and they've all come from varying backgrounds. The one thing that unites them all is the course that they did, which is our course. And it keeps on going. All right. So whatever course you decide on, you've got to understand how that course is going to help you get a job. And no, looking good on your resume doesn't count, okay guys? So So what's the point of doing a course if it can't help you get a job? And again, you need to look for the testimonials on the website. Most of the truck driving testimonials, the dump truck courses that are run around the place, their testimonials consist of the truck was really nice, the seat was really comfy, the trainer was really good, but they don't mention that anybody's actually got a job. So if nobody's got a job before there, how are you going to get a job through the course? Each state in Australia has got their own set of mining rules, and each state has its own mines inspectorate, guys. Some states have certain courses that must be complete before employment. These courses are often referred to as inductions. Please don't confuse these induction courses with mining knowledge, okay guys? All these courses are about safety knowledge. Yes, very important stuff, but it's not mining knowledge, okay? These induction courses are the Mark Star in WA. Now the Mark Star in WA is mostly used by Rio Tinto and BHP for shutdown work. The Mark Star's gone from a 5-day course 15 years ago to a 4-hour course now, okay? New South Wales have got the Coal Board course if you want to go coal mining in New South Wales, that's government approved. And in Queensland, they've got the S11 requirement. But this is only for coal and only for Queensland. Now, we at Underground Training Systems have got a big problem with the way some of these courses are being marketed. Now, if you have a look up here, it says Sydney, Melbourne, Gold Coast, Brisbane, but if you scroll down the page, there's absolutely nowhere on this page tells you that it's only for coal and only for Queensland. It gives you the impression that if you did this generic induction course, you'd be able to go and get a job anywhere in the country. Okay? And this one's even worse, and I don't know how they're getting away with this one because that's the Queensland's government seal of approval. And look what they say up the top there. If you intend on working in the surface or underground mines, you must intend a mining induction course. Well, who says so? The WA Mines Department doesn't say so. The Victorian Mines Department doesn't say so. The South Australian Mines Department doesn't say so. The only two mines departments in Australia that tell you that you must do an induction course are for coal, okay? And that's coal in New South Wales and coal in Queensland. And guess what? If you do your S11 in Queensland and then try and take that down to a coal mine in New South Wales, guess what they tell you guys? Yeah, that's right. They tell you to go away and do your coal board induction. If you take your New South Wales coal board induction up to Queensland, guess what the Queensland coal mines tell you to do? They tell you to go away and do your S11. Alright, so just please be aware of the fact that S11 is only for coal and only for Queensland, and the New South Wales coal board is only for New South Wales. Now, in hard rock mining, you'll be required to do the site safety induction on each site you work at. No matter how much experience you have or how many inductions you've done, you still have to do the on-site induction and the on-site ticket in any state that you're working in Australia. Alright? Your tickets are non-transferable in mining. You must do your new ticket underneath the new resident manager on every site that you go to. Yes, they can RPL you, which is recognised prior learning, but you still need to do the on-site ticket underneath the new manager for the mine that you're working at. Alright? Now, our panel of consultants, our shift bosses, have looked into what each branch of mining requires. However, as already stated, our experience is in hard rock underground mining. So here's a quick rundown of what each branch of mining wants and what the internet tells you is on offer and where we think the best place to get the result and what in each brand of mining. So with hard rock underground mining, well, you've got the choice of us or us. We're the only ones doing the course like this in Australia at the moment. And our course starts at $2,298. Now, if you want to go into the surface hard rock, so haul pack driver or a dump truck operator in the coal mines or in the iron ore mines, like we said before, it's probably not the best time to be doing it at the moment. With all the layoffs that happen, there's a real oversupply of these people. And you just have to look at Seek at the moment to see how the companies are trying to go and poach people that have just been laid off and try and get their skill base up. Now, there's lots of companies all over the country offering these dump truck driving courses. We did a head count and there was over 10 on the internet alone. That's probably 15 people a week with each 10 companies that are getting put through a course like that. That's 150 spots. There's just not the jobs out there for those sort of people. And what's worse is, all I can tell you at the time of writing of this seminar, the costs of the course were between $3,200 and $5,500, with no mention of how the mining companies, the mention of how the students did with getting jobs, okay? There's no mention at all about how students got their jobs. Now, if you want to go coal mining in Queensland, we recommend RAM Training. The reason why we recommend RAM Training is because they were the only ones that were honest on their webpage. They were upfront about it all. They said it's only for coal and only for Queensland, okay? And they even went to the lengths of telling you that if you're working for the BHP Mitsubishi Alliance up in the north of the country, then they don't actually accept the S11, so don't bother doing this course. So they're a reputable firm. In coal in New South Wales, CS Mines Rescue. We haven't had a lot to do with these guys, but we've had a few people come through our course and they reckon that they're pretty good and they're above board. We've only ever had positive feedback from them, about them. So yeah, you can go and have a look at them if you want to get into coal mining in New South Wales. Now, shutdown and construction workers. If you want shutdown work, you're going to have to go to a labour hire company because they're the guys that organise the shutdown work. But be warned, shutdown work pays well, but it's not a full-time job, okay guys? The work can be very patchy at times, so you can only do what the jobs are going at the time. So you might get 3 months of consistent work and then you might have 2 months with nothing, and then it goes around again from there. Now, you'll need a white card and the appropriate induction for the state the mine is in. Now, construction jobs normally work a 4-and-1, 5-and-1 or 6-and-1 roster. That's weeks on and off, so they normally work either 4 weeks on, 5 weeks on or 6 weeks on and then have a week off. Now, just again, be prepared because these jobs are construction jobs and they normally only last between 18 months and 2 years, the life of the build of the mine. Drillers off-sider, which is a very popular pastime for people to get into the mining industry, and they feel that it's an easy way to get in because there's always lots of drilling off-siding jobs going around. There's a good reason for this. If you want to be a driller off-sider, you need to see the recruitment companies. They're the best way to go with that sort of stuff. You'll need a HR licence, the appropriate induction for the site that you'll be able to work on, and you'll need to be able to cook too, because the normal roster is 6-and-1 living in a caravan, and you'll be responsible for breakfast, lunch and dinner as well as doing the off-siding work, okay? So you really are the driller's bitch, whether you like it or not. So things to look out for. Anyone telling you that it's all about them to get a mining job, they won't help you get a job, guys, okay? So like Australia Dash Mining, all they're going to do is take your money and run. If anybody tells you that it's a magic resume, it's not a magic resume. Yes, a resume is a very important part of the process, but it's not 100% of the process. If someone tells you you must do an induction before getting a job, that's not what inductions are for. Inductions are for on-site and once you've got a job. The people that are running S11 up in Queensland have basically put the cart in front of the horse. The whole idea of an induction is to go and have a job and then go and do the induction. If someone tells you that one induction course is industry-wide, as some people are saying with the GI in Queensland at the moment, they won't help you get a job. That you need a white card to go mining, okay? You don't need a white card to be a miner. You need a white card to be a construction worker on a mine site, but you don't need a white card to be an actual miner, guys. That you have to be under 100 kilos to get in. Well, all I've got to say to that is hello. Alright? You need a HR licence to drive a truck underground. Because there's no gazetted roads underground, it's like private property. All you need is a ticket from the registered manager, or the resident manager as we call them in WA, and you're able to drive a vehicle on site. You don't need a HR licence to drive a truck on the surface. Unfortunately, this is one of the myths that are being put around at the moment by a few training companies. Let me tell you, 100% you will require a HR licence to work on a surface mine site. The reason being is because once a 20-tonne vehicle, once a tyre of a 20-tonne vehicle hits a gazetted road, you need to have a HR licence by law. Your civil tickets will transfer. This is one that we get all the time, guys. Civil tickets are for civil jobs. Mining tickets are for mine sites only, and they're non-transferable. Every single mine site you go to, the way the paperwork trail goes and the way the resident manager or the boss of the mine site works is that they need to have these tickets on site to make sure that they can prove to a court of law that they've done everything physically possible to keep you safe on that mine site. That's why you have to redo your ticket every mine site you go to for every different bit of machinery that you go to, no matter how much experience you've got, guys. There's one National Mines Inspectorate. Anybody telling you that won't help you get a job. And mining construction worker jobs are mining jobs. I'm sorry guys, they're not. They're construction jobs. They just happen to be on a mine site. You can't build you can build a career around construction work, but not on a mine site. It's only going to be for 18 months or 2 years. It's not like the miners that go to some of these mine sites that have got actually, 30 to 40 or 50 years mine life in them. You can actually build a career as a miner around a mine site like that. In the construction game in mining, you need to move from one mine site to the next mine site opening up and keeping on going. And my mate works in the mines, he can help you get in. I know we've all heard people tell us that before, and that no longer works, guys. The last major issue in getting a start in the mines is the failure rate. 3 out of 5 new starters fail in the first 6 months. Why is it so high? We believe that people are coming into the industry underprepared for the challenges that mining brings. They simply don't have enough mining knowledge. And what I'm talking about that is, when you jump on the bus the first time when you get off the plane, there's going to be some idiot yell starters carton out at you. And that's normally going to be the dickhead of the crew. And what you need to do in a nice, loud voice is tell them, I'll pay my starters carton when I find out what crew I'm going on to and when I get my first paycheck. All very acceptable things under the carton rules. And yes, there are carton rules in mining. So when you get to site, they'll try and fill you with as much information as possible in the shortest amount of time possible. The reason for this is simple. Time's money when you're mining, and they require you to be a productive member of the crew as soon as possible. Don't kid yourself. If you can't get up to speed in the time, or you keep making basic mistakes over and over again, you'll end up getting a window seat on the next plane ride out. And what's a window seat? That's the vernacular for the sack in the mining industry, guys. So mining knowledge plus a mining friendly resume plus a mining contact equals a mining job. So what do we mean by a mining friendly resume? What happens when you send your resume in for a mining job? If you're lucky, it'll be printed out. However, the reality of the situation is that mining companies get thousands of these resumes when they run job adverts in the newspaper. As an example, one of the companies that we deal with ran a full advert in the newspaper, and it was for shift boss to nipper, and they got over 10,000 responses. Out of those, only 130 had existing mining experience, guys. So where do you start with the other 9,870 resumes? What do you think happens to most of them? That's right, they get kept on file with the HR department, normally using their circular filing system. And that's what's commonly referred to as the bin in the mining industry. Now this is really important, guys. If you feel you have a special skill or a trade that could transfer into the industry, then you need to let the company know. You've got 6 seconds. That's the average time that the resumes get looked at by the companies. Because in the mining industry, you've either got mining knowledge or you don't. A miner's standard resume will be their name, their email address, their phone number, their address, and then which mine they worked at and what they did on the mine, one after the other. That's what a miner's resume looks like. Don't put a cover letter on, guys. Cover letters are the kiss of death. Now, this is the resume that we do for the people that do our course, and one of the reasons why we get 80% of our people that come through the course interviews is because of this. Training conducted by a WA ticketed shift boss. That actually means something in the industry. The fact that you've spent 3 days with somebody with a shift boss's ticket means that you've learnt something about mining. You just haven't been driving a truck around a paddock, okay? And that's what the mining companies are really after. They're after the mining knowledge. If you know how the mine works and you can communicate to the foreman on their level with their terms, they're not going to treat you like a new starter. They're going to treat you like a miner. So our mining contacts. Everybody knows someone that's worked in the mines, and we've all heard, yeah mate, just give me a copy of your resume and I'll get you a job. Only to wait weeks or months for no response. Bosses want more than just mates these days because so many haven't worked out in the past. We had a real problem with this in the hard rock industry in 2006 when the mining boom was really going nuts. They want people that have prepared themselves, that have got mining knowledge so they can be safe from day one on the mine site. A mining contact is the last thing that you need, alright? And it can be gained through many different methods. However, there's no good using your mining contact if all you can do in the interview is say that I'm going to work safely. The mining companies are going to want to know what you know about mining and how you're going to perform the job safely. Mining contacts should only be used if you can back it up with mining knowledge, unless you'll burn that bridge forever, okay guys? So mining knowledge, plus a mining friendly resume, plus a mining contact, equals a mining job. All the course dates and locations are available on the website, and so good luck in the future, and I really do hope that you can pursue a mining career. But remember one thing, if you do make it to a mine site, please, safety can't be bought, faked or obtained by fear. It can only be earned with time and vigilance. To achieve this safe workplace, we need to have a positive attitude towards safety and a personal belief in safety. Learn as much about the job as you can. There's always more than one way to do a job. And believe in your skills to do the work. It's you that controls the safety on the job. Safety comes from you doing the job the right way. And the most important thing is the confidence to stop the work when the hazard can't be controlled. I don't know how many people we as shift boss have seen over the years that have actually hurt themselves because they haven't had the intestinal fortitude to say, no, I'm going to stop the job, I think it's too hazardous, I need to get somebody with some more experience down here. So hopefully that's taught you something about how to get into the mining industry, and good luck, and I wish you all the best. And if anybody wants to know anything more about our courses, you can contact us at www.undergroundtraining.com.au, or you can get us on the phone at 08 9300 0544. Thanks.